Well, I finally ran the wood bucket out of wood, so time to fill it up. Now when we moved in, the wood pile, there was already a hole in the wall, and the wood basically just dumped out right on the stairs, and the stove was on the other end of the basement, and it was a stinking mess. So I've tried to improve and I dare say perfect the wood chute and wood moving system in the basement. It's not perfect, I know it's not, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. So when we first moved in, the hole through the basement wall was a very crude, knocked out with a sledgehammer hole, and they had a handful of cinder blocks kind of trying to hold dirt out of the hole with a piece of cardboard laying over it. Now, like I said in some other videos, I have access to sheet metal from work. That's some scraps, leftover pieces. So this whole chute was made out of 1/8 inch steel. Now, ain't that just the sweetest thing you ever seen in your whole life? The chute fills up. We had to make the hole just a little bit bigger, but the chute is underneath the window, so the framing of the house is supported still. There's extra framing around the window, so I'm not worried about any foundation issues. But the bottom of the chute is high enough that I can get a cart underneath it, and I will show you how the cart and stair system and everything works when we get inside. The only thing I would have done different with it is make it bigger so I could just dump the wood in. When it starts backing up like that, I know that the cart's full. Close the lid. Good to go. So that's what it looks like from the inside. As you can see, the basket's full. I'm going to go down and stack up what's left in the chute in the basket and then push it out of the way. You'll see here in just a second why it's not perfect yet. This is why. I don't have a good solution yet. So, if you have any good ideas, leave a comment. It's nice in a box, out of the way, taken care of. I don't have to stack it or anything. And then to get the box up to the chute, stairs just slide under and are out of the way, pull them out. Like I said, the only problem I have is getting down here and back up here after I move the box, but I'm not sure what to do about it. Another improvement that we made since we've moved in was add ductwork. When we had first moved in, we had our first winter here was actually pretty terrible. We couldn't get the house above probably, I don't even know if it ever hit 60, if we're being honest. You can see the main lines off the furnace there are two 8-inch lines, and that just those 8-inch lines fed the whole house. And I think there were only 2 or 3 registers in a over 2,000 square foot house. So went through, added this ductwork, the plenum. All this is more freebie sheet metal, so this is homemade. And it goes into the crawl space behind the shelving here and branches off, and then that's what feeds the whole house. There's a couple of tees off the back side that go under the one of the additions, but that made a huge difference keeping the house warm. Another thing that helped a lot was actually sealing up the furnace. There wasn't a rope gasket on the door, and none of the single wall chimney pipe had been sealed, so I had a lot of draft and the wood just burned up and a lot of the heat just went out the chimney. And this is actually my first time with a wood stove. We've been here 5 years now, but so you know, it's old news now, but the first winter was rough, not knowing anything about wood stoves and trying to figure out all the issues that there were with the system. So I'm pretty happy with what we've got going on now. Another thing that made the first winter pretty terrible was we bought the house in late November and there was no wood here. So I tried kind of panic buying any wood I could get, and actually ended up buying quite a bit from an Amish sawmill just around the corner. But all that wood was green, and we didn't have the wood sheds outside, so all that came through the crappy wood chute, and we just stacked it down here in the basement and made a mess with water running all over the place. Our system is definitely a lot better now, but something I forgot to talk about was this is in here. I wanted this in here when I ran all the ductwork because I like the idea of having propane for backup, but right now this is just sitting here. We do not have any propane lines ran to it. There's no power to it, and actually the blower on the side of the furnace there came out of this, so this is not running at all. We heat 100% strictly with wood, and that furnace right there. And like I said, the house is about 2,000 square feet. Right now I have a register open in the garage, which is another 300 or 400 square feet. So say 2,500 square feet we heat with that, and it does a pretty good job. Usually it's 70. Yesterday I think we hit 73 or 74 degrees, so it does a really good job. Now